Trusting yourself and your ability to lock in after going through something is a key component in rebuilding your life in the way that you want it. Part of what got me to this point was seeing the vision, executing the plan, and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. Today on Always Undeniable, we're getting into trusting yourself and why it's so important in changing your life.
That's an hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Always Undeniable. I'm your host, Sanaa Collins, and I'm back here today with another fire episode dedicated to helping you become the best version of yourself. Now, today I want to talk about self-trust because it's one of the most important things you can do for yourself in terms of your process and your journey to becoming the best version of you. Trusting myself didn't come easy. Honestly, up until a certain point, trusting myself was one of the hardest things for me to do, whether it was in school, whether it was socially, physically, emotionally. I did not trust myself at all. It caused me to second guess every decision I made, whether it was a test, whether it was talking to a friend, whether it's how I responded to something, if I even wanted to respond to something. I always second guessed myself, and it hurt me in the long run. But in my rebuild and becoming the best version of me, learning to rebuild that trust and understanding that my decisions, my thought processes are that way for a reason and that it was going to push me forward, it changed everything for me because I no longer lived in fear of making mistakes and I no longer sort of feared the unknown. And instead, I embraced the unknown and it brought me to the dance and it brought me to this very moment right now. Now, I've repeated that phrase over and over again because a lot of these lessons, a lot of these things that I speak about on Always Undeniable are based off of my reality, off of my experience, and off of the things I faced on a day-to-day basis, from the worst version of myself to the best version of myself. Which is why everything I'm saying is so important, and it's important for me to relate to you guys because I've seen the effect it's had on my life, I've seen the effect it's had on other people's lives, and now I'm trying to bring that same change to your life as well. In this pursuit of rebuilding your life, the reason you need to trust yourself is because your gut, your heart, and your mind know best. Now, your mind, you want to trust a little bit less when you're starting at the beginning because your mind is going to tell you can't. Your mind is going to have this narrative that you're not worthy, that you can't do this, you can't do that. But you have to reframe it and you have to live that reframing that you just did in your head. Because the thing is, it's hard to get out of a negative pattern. It's hard to get out of a negative cycle, but it's crucial if you want to change your life. And changing your life is the most important thing you'll ever do, especially if you're feeling stuck right now. If you're new to Always Undeniable, I've been there. I've been stuck. I've been at rock bottom. This was me. This was me at rock bottom versus me right now. These are two completely different people, and one of the key components in that change was trust. Trusting that this version of me wasn't going to be me forever, and trusting that this version of me was possible. Yes, on some days it was hard to see that vision. It was hard to go do the work. It was hard to get up, get out of bed and go lift, go run, go do the cardio. It was hard to do that. But I did it and it was worth it. And because I trusted myself, I trusted the process and I trusted the journey that I was on. Trusting your path is so important because it keeps you in the game. It keeps you locked in and it keeps that discipline and focus that you need to make real change alive, available, and ready to utilize at any given point. Having that trust within yourself is one of the most powerful experiences you can have. And I say that from a place of, like I said, being at rock bottom and being where I'm at now. And one of the key differences, one of the key components is that trust. That trust did not exist before. It exists now, and I'm two completely different people. Like I said, this was me at the worst point of my life. This is me now at the best point of my life. The trust is such a key part of it because this me, the me you see right now, the me talking to the camera at this very moment, is the me that I always knew this version of me could become. No matter how dark it got over here, no matter how depressed, sad, angry, confused I was at that point in my life, I knew and I figured that at some point I could become this version of me. But it took a switch flipping in my head for me to start to activate that change. And once I was there, I knew it was going to take time and I knew it was going to be a long journey, a long process. But every single day, every single moment, every single minute was worth it. Everybody's process is a little bit different. Some probably trust themselves more now than I did at my worst. Others might be in a physically better state now than they were when I was at my lowest. It's all about figuring out what you need in every given moment and making sure you can understand and keep track of the things you need and what's going to help you move forward. Once you can do that, your life can begin to change and you can become the best version of yourself. Trusting yourself is also a key component, because if you don't trust yourself, how can anyone else in your life trust you? That's the major thing. If you don't trust yourself and you don't take care of yourself, and I've said this before in season 3 and in the past as well, you cannot care for or trust other people if you don't have that same trust and care for yourself, which is why you always have to prioritize yourself first. At any given time, in any possible way that you can, you have to prioritize yourself, because if you don't, you find yourself in trouble. You find other people in trouble, and you won't be able to support others and other people that are important to you if you can't support yourself. So supporting yourself in any given way has to be the priority. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what your job is, what your title is. You have to support yourself first. And maybe some of y'all might think I'm wrong. Some of y'all might think I'm too young to, speak what I'm speaking on because of different perspectives. Some of y'all might be parents. Some of y'all might be caregivers, etc. But think about how much better your job could be if you trusted, loved, and cared for yourself the way you trust, love, and care for that child, that person that you're in charge of. Think about it. Your experience overall could be here instead of here if you just learn to trust yourself a little bit better. And again, how could that person trust you if you don't trust yourself? Something to think about. Trusting yourself also keeps you away from the wrong things. It keeps you away from the wrong people, the wrong situations, the wrong mindset. Being able to trust that you're right in that moment can change the trajectory of your life. And it's so important. This topic is so important to me. And you can hear I'm very passionate about this, because it took me from the worst point of my life to the best point in my life. Obviously, there are other factors that play, like consistency, like discipline, like self-reflection, emotional release, all these things. But none of that happens without trusting myself and trusting that I was taking the right path and that I was utilizing the right process and I was doing the right things and confronting the right parts of myself and making sure that I was going to change. None of that happens without trusting the process and trusting myself, trusting my process. And you have to do the same for yourself if you want any real change in your life. No matter how much you might change physically or how much you might think you change, if that trust really isn't there, that's not sustainable. And you have to build sustainable systems in this pursuit to change your life. Sustainability is everything. Change is everything. But you can only accomplish that starting with trusting yourself and trusting that you are on the right path. And if you're unsure, there are ways to monitor that. You can journal, reflect on your past decisions, and work on strategies to build self-compassion. All of those things will up the trust you have in yourself and will help you get better. Nothing I'm saying here on Always Undeniable is inauthentic. This is all real, and these are all real strategies and things that I took into consideration when it came to my life, and now I want to help y'all do the same exact thing. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to help anybody that clicks on a video, clicks on a social media post, and listens to me talk. I want y'all to find true value out of being here on my platform, whether it's clicking a video on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts, or clicking a full video here on YouTube. At the end of the day, I want y'all to gain something from me, to learn from my experiences and apply it to your own life so you can be the best you. Something else you can do is celebrate your success, acknowledge your wins. I was somebody that downplayed any positive in my life for a good amount of time. I'd say anywhere between late 2019 up until about early 2022. Any win throughout that period, I severely downplayed, and it's because of the spot I was at mentally, physically, emotionally. I just wasn't there at a point where I could celebrate your wins. Once I started to celebrate my wins, I felt my trust and my growth happen in real time. So celebrate your wins. Celebrate the things that you've done in a way that acknowledges the win, but also doesn't keep you off track and doesn't get you too high or too low. Stay right even keeled and keep it moving. That's the way to go. Your trust is everything, because when you trust yourself, making decisions comes easy to you. And a lot of times, decision making is what gets people to where they are. That feeling of being stuck, unsure, not knowing where they want to go next. So if you trust yourself and you trust your ability to be on the right path, you will become unstoppable and you will become the best version of you. I promise. I promise. None of the things I'm saying are fake or inauthentic. This is all real stuff coming from my life specifically. Stop dismissing your emotions and stop talking yourself out of things you want to do. These are all things, every single thing I just listed are all things for you to trust yourself, to build up that trust so you can start to move forward with your life. Obviously, there are other things at play that you can do to change your life, and that is what the rest of Always Undeniable is for. If you're interested in more, go ahead, follow me on social media at Always Undeniable. Go ahead and go through all the videos that I've posted here on YouTube. Everything posted from my account, from my platform, are real strategies and real methods I've applied to my own life to become the best version of myself. If that's your goal, stick with Always Undeniable. Go watch another video and listen to what I have to say, because I promise you, if you apply these things to your life, you're on the road to becoming the best version of yourself. I want better for you, and I know you want better for you too. So take what I'm saying, apply it to your own life, and let's get better together. I appreciate y'all tapping back in for another installment of Always Undeniable. Be sure to come back next week as I drop another full-length episode. As I just said before, follow me at Always Undeniable on Instagram, on TikTok, here, because I post every single day, and there's a lot of value on my page, so I appreciate y'all. Make sure you come back. Until the next one, stay blessed, stay positive, stay motivated. This has been Always Undeniable.